Today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite Christmas DIYs, thrift flips, Dollar Tree crafts. It's all here, guys. All my favorite Christmas from this year. Welcome to my channel, Freckled Mom DIY. I'm Devin. If you're new, welcome. And if you're returning, hey! Look down in my description for the full videos. This is a little Dollar Tree truck and it's all wood, and you can see I'm painting this in Waverly's plaster. There are two sides to this. I'm only going to decorate one side, but I am painting the inside of both sides, so that way if you look through, it looks complete. So here I am, I'm just laying out where I'm gonna stamp. I had tried to use my Cricut and it was just too small, so I ended up going through with these little stamps, and I'm just gonna stamp out my word, and I think these are super cute. I love these little stamps, and I'm just holding a little barrier there so I keep it lined up. And it's gonna say Berry Farm. So these are some colors that I'm planning on using for this holiday, so we'll see if I can stick with it till winter. So this is some fall foliage I had found down in my stash, and I just clipped out the piece I wanted. I like this bright red, but I didn't want it super red. So here I am, I'm just going to paint this in a ballet slipper, and I'm painting the entire leaf, and you're gonna see what I do with this. So this one is completely painted in that ballet slipper, and then I just take that plaster and I dry brush onto the other leaf, so that way it's not super red, but you can still see the color. So here I have the berries, and these berries are definitely fall colored, so I just went through on the lightest balls and I painted them in that ballet slipper. So you still get a little bit of the red, but you get a lot of that pink too. So here I am hot gluing the leaves down, and there is that little seat there for the leaves, and this is gonna go for the back of the truck, and I hot glued that down. And I want to make sure it's good before I get the berries, and I'm trying to see what's going to be the best way for the berries. And I added some hot glue to the bottom of the stem, and then I'm going to lay it right in there, and I'm going to just squeeze it in underneath the leaves. And how adorable is that? This is so sweet. It is so adorable, and I'm hoping these are going to be my winter colors. We'll see. It's only July, so I might change my mind, but for right now, these are the colors I'm going for, and I think this is super adorable. This is something I picked up from the Dollar Tree the other day. It has the different months and the days, so you can change out the day. And I just went through with my Waverly elephant, and I gave it 2 coats, and I did do the back of it. I wasn't sure where this was going to go and if you were going to be able to see both sides of it, so I definitely wanted to make sure it looked finished. And I do, again, like I said, 2 coats I did on the front because you could still kind of see the words. Maybe I should have given it a little bit of a roughing up before, but 2 coats did okay. And then I had this stamp, and you can see that it is an old stamp and it didn't work too well, so I'm going to leave that for a minute while I try my Celebrate. And I decided I don't like it, so I'm wiping it off, and now I'm gonna go through with a Christmas tree, and I'm just stamping it into white ink, and that's it. This was so simple, and it is super cute. You could do whatever you want for whatever holiday you want. If you're new to my channel or coming over from the hop, welcome. On my channel, we like to do Dollar Tree crafts, DIY, gifts and decor, thrift flipping, and more. If you like these kind of videos, please consider subscribing and joining our family. Also, when you hit the bell, you'll be notified every time I post a new video. You can also find me on Instagram as Freckled Mom. These are my Christmas ornaments that I used last year. I had done teal and silver, and I feel like this year I'm going to do it a little bit different, so I'm gathering up these blue ones. I went out to my garage and I put them on the end of skewers so I could spray paint them. I did a couple of them in my antique white and a couple in my peony pink. And then I just have my decor that I use throughout the year, and I'm filling this up, and that's it. You could fill this up with anything. You could do seashells in the summer or eggs for Easter, but this is what I'm gonna do for Christmas, and I think this is super cute. Again, super easy. This literally took me just a few minutes and some drying time for the spray paint. Let me know down in the comments if you have decor like this that is interchangeable throughout the seasons. So this is an old dish that I had laying around my house. I cleaned it up with some crud cutter, and I'm going to spray paint with my antique white. I do 2 coats of it. Again, super simple, super easy. I went to the Dollar Tree and I got some cups that match my decor. I filled it up with some candy, and then I wrapped burlap around the bags of candy and added some wood embellishments, and that is it, guys. That is how simple this DIY was. You can also do this for any holiday. I had picked up this cup from the Dollar Tree and cleaned it up with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, and then I went to my Cameo and I printed off some words, and I'm just weeding it out here and getting it ready. Now this is something you can do for a holiday cup or a gift for somebody. You could also do this for teachers or coaches. It's super cute. I mean, not the words. I definitely change the words for whoever you're giving it to. But I think this is a super sweet idea and definitely a good idea to get going before Christmas. So I just peeled it up, I put it on my transfer paper, and I'm finding the right placement, and then I'm just gonna lay it down. After you get your words where you want them, you definitely want to put some Mod Podge on it. I suggest using the dishwasher safe in case somebody wants to wash this and they don't want to use hand washing it. But that's it, guys. It was so simple, so easy. And then I peeled up my transfer tape. I did go super slow because I wasn't sure with it being round how difficult it would be, but it was simple. So again, I would definitely change the words on this depending on who you're giving it to. But this is just a little funny for me and my friends, and I think this is super sweet. Let me know what you would have put on there for words. This first DIY is some vintage tags. Now I had printed these tags out originally from the internet, and I have these tags I had picked up a 20 pack at Dollar General. This is super simple, super quick, and super easy. I'm just taking some Mod Podge, I'm doing a generous coat, and then I'm using my cut out paper that I printed out from my printer, and I lay it down, and then I do another coat of Mod Podge. And that's it, guys. I'm gonna keep doing that. I printed out 6 different tags, and I just Googled vintage tags, found ones I liked, and then I printed them out and I cut them down to the size that I wanted that would fit on this tag. Now these tags are super cute for decoration. They're also cute to actually give as tags for your gifts. So again, I did 6 of these. You're gonna see them throughout this video, but I am in love with these. I think they are so sweet. What's the point of tags if you don't have presents to go with it? Now here is some Dollar Tree soap I was going to give as an actual present, which I still will, and I'm just wrapping these up for decoration right now. These will be really cute gift basket additions. So right now I'm just going to use it for decoration. And I have this paper I have gotten in a package that was mailed to me. I'm just taping it up. This is how I wrap my presents. Let me know down in the comments how you do your ends. I think this is definitely a controversy how ends are done. And this one, I did the same type of folding, but I did burlap instead. And so you do want to be careful. I use hot glue instead of tape, just so it would be more secure. So you do want to be careful that you don't get the hot glue through the burlap because it is hot. And I'm doing both ends here. Again, this is just hot glue just to hold these ends in. This is just for decoration. So if you were going to use this for an actual gift, you definitely want to be secure in your ends. So I have some twine here and I'm wrapping it on the bottom first. I crisscross it and then I bring it up to the front. And then I'm going to hot glue it just so it stays still. Now you could tape it if you were on paper, but I'm on the burlap. So I definitely wanted it to stay still because this is, again, decoration. I put on one of my little tags and I'm just going to tie a knot. And I do an actual knot just so it doesn't move on me. And then I cut off the ends. And I'm done with that one. So now we have our paper. I do the same thing. I start on the bottom and I crisscross it on the bottom and I bring it up around the top. I crisscross it again. And then I'm gonna do a little dab of hot glue just to hold it in place. And then once I cut off my ends, I can add my little tag and tie a knot. So this is decoration for this challenge and for my home. But this is something you could do for actual real gifts. And I think this is super sweet. I love the vintage feel. This is a round container, so I wanted to show you it works the same way. You just crisscross it on the bottom, hot glue it, crisscross it on the top, and hot glue it. And I think these are super sweet. I love doing this on my Christmas presents. It adds just a little extra something, something. And I think it makes people feel special that you took the time to give them such a cute gift. This was a little plain, so I just got my stamps that I had got from Michael's and the stamp pad from Michael's, and I just stamped on it to Dad. Again, these are not presents. They're just decorations for the challenge. I think these are super, super sweet. I had picked a pink and a cranberry and like a creamy color to go for my Christmas colors this year. So I hope I can stay with it. And this garland is so adorable. This is my first time doing a garland. So it came out okay, but I think I will do a few things different next time. So I just have my wooden beads and I'm putting in different colors. This is my spiced berry. I love this color. This is from a plaid. And then I have my Waverly chalk paint. And all I'm doing is I have the balls in a baggie. I'm putting a little bit of the paint in. That was my ballet slipper, another Waverly paint. And then I'm just rolling them around and I let them dry. And when I was ready, I have that same twine and I just wrapped it around my hand a bunch of times, cut off the ends. I did loop one around so I could have it for the garland, and you can see that right here. And then I cut the ends for the tassel, and now I'm just gonna thread up the wooden beads, and that is it. And this is where you could just decide if you wanted to go with a pattern. I did do alternating colors because I have that spice berry and my ballet slipper and then my plaster. And then at the end, I just add another one of those tags. And here I slowed it down so you can see I put the twine through the back. And I made like that little loop right there just to hold it in case I wanted to hang it on something. And then I have my hot glue and I'm just gonna jazz it up a little bit with the extra twine. So I wrapped it on the front. I'm gonna secure it on the back and I'm gonna bring it back to the front and secure it again with the hot glue. And then I'm gonna take the end of this twine and I'm gonna put it back through the hole. And this brings it right to the back of the tag now, so I can just cut it off and I can glue the remaining twine. That way you don't see any scragglers hanging around. And then I just take a little bit of hot glue and I just hot glue it right to the back of that tag. And I am so in love with this. I think this is so sweet. I am so happy that I finally did a beaded garland. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Here is another super simple project. I did a little ombre effect here, and I started with my spice berry. These are the wood signs you can get in different words from the Dollar Tree. So I did the spice berry first. I'm gonna do 3 layers. You're gonna see that. My next layer is gonna be ballet slipper. So all my colors that I chose for Christmas this year, and I'm just gonna go up from the bottom and work my way up. And here's the ballet slipper, and I totally love this. If you're new to my channel or coming over from the playlist, welcome. We do a lot of Dollar Tree crafts, DIY, gifts and decor, thrift flipping, and more. If you like these kind of videos, please consider subscribing. To all my returning friends and subscribers, thank you. Don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. You can also find me on Instagram as Freckled Mom. So here I'm going in now with my 3rd color, and I have this in the Waverly Plaster. I try to keep all the colors through all the projects, that way there was a theme, and I just think this is super sweet and super adorable, and obviously very quick and easy, and just a little something to add in addition to your centerpiece or your decorations, if you were to put it in your dining room or wherever you're putting your decorations. And you definitely want to have a little brush because there are a lot of nook and crannies in here. Let me know down in the comments if you love to decorate for Christmas. I think this came out so sweet, and I love my little fairy lights around it. I think this adds just such a cute little addition, and it's just so sweet with these colors. I am in love with these colors for Christmas this year. And this is adorable. This is just a little letter to sail to Santa. So you guys know I love my coastal. I had printed this off my printer, just on regular printer paper. I cut it down to size to fit, and I wanted to rip the side. So I have a little bit of water here, and I was gonna wet it by spraying it. It didn't work, so I'm just laying it in the water, and I'm not soaking it, I'm just getting it a little wet, and then I'm tearing off the edges. That way it has like a washed up kind of effect to it. So I do one side at a time to make sure I'm not ripping any letters, and I am thankful that I have my little nails here, so just take your time with this. And again, I did all 4 sides with just a little rip. I think this came out super cute, and again, just regular printer paper. And then before I did that, I started with these little decals, and everything's from the dollar store. So these are the rub-on decals, and those are the little white buckets you can get from the wedding decorations at the Dollar Tree. And I just rubbed them on, peeled off the little plastic backing. I have this other one here I'm putting on the other side. I thought this would look really nice with my vintage theme. And now that that's ready, I can go ahead and do Mod Podge. So I can lay down my sail to Santa, and you'll see where I'm going with this. And I just rub it down and get all the air bubbles out and get a nice adherence. And then I do another layer of Mod Podge, and I do a heavy dose of it. And I also do a little bit over the rub-ons from the dollar store. Now these are also from the dollar store. These are very mini and very little, and I just have this paper that is super cute. It matches all my theme today, and I'm just rolling it up and I'm putting the cork on it, and that's it, guys. This is our little letter to Santa, and I'm just filling these up. I think these are so adorable, and again, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this because my fingers do not like little mini things. But I was so happy I could do this because this is adorable. This is probably the cutest thing I've ever done. If you remember my little honey jars, this is right up there with those. These are so cute. And then I have a little bit of that leftover paper that I wrapped the presents in, and I just added it right to that little bucket, and I filled it up, and we're ready to set sail to Santa so Santa can get his letters from all the kids on the beaches.
can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh.
Just in case you wanted a bigger version for your list to go to Santa, here it is. This is so cute. I just popped the back off of this. Again, this is from the Dollar Tree, and that paper just came right off. So there was no glue, and I went through my paper to find something that matched with my theme, and I found this. It was so perfect, and I knew this was gonna look so sweet, but I had to find a backing. So I just went through my paper, and then I found this one. It is so sweet. And I took the back here and I just measured it out so I could get the correct measurements. And then I cut everything out, and I'm going to just do a little bit of hot glue, not a lot. You could Mod Podge this, but I already had the hot glue out, so I just put a little bit in each corner and a little bit on the sides, and I laid this out, and I made sure it was nice and straight. And then I did the same thing, a little bit of hot glue on my little list. And again, this is so cute. I am in love with these colors. Definitely not traditional for Christmas, but I love it. This is just a little bit of acetone to wipe off of that glass, and it came off nice and easy. And then I'm using the same colors. I have my ballet slipper. I don't do a full coat. I just kind of just throw it on there, and there was no rhyme or reason. I just wanted to still see a little bit of that sparkle, just to kind of give it that, you know, that Christmas flair with a little bit of sparkle. And then I went around onto the paper and I just kind of distressed it with the pink, and I wasn't sure, but it came out adorable, so I'm glad I did it. And then I do the same thing with my plaster. I just distress it a little bit on the paper and a little bit on the corners of my frame. And this was super simple. I had these Scrabble pieces that I get off of Amazon, and I just spelled out Xmas because it was a lot shorter than Christmas. And I started in the middle first with my M and my A, and I just covered up the paper that said top 5. I'm not sure what it said, but I covered it up anyway, so it would be for Christmas. And you do want to make sure, because of Scrabble letters, that any letters like the X or the S, that you're putting them the right side up, because yeah, that happens. And then I just put some hot glue on the inside here, and I'm going to lay this back inside, and it looks like a square, but it definitely fits only one way. And how adorable is this? Oh my goodness. I am in love with all of these. Please let me know which one was your favorite. So this is a decor piece that I got from Target. It was in the dollar spot, and it was $5, and it is super cute. And you could do this for a tiered tray, but I'm using it on this decor piece, and it's gonna be for a cocoa bar. So this is actually a ladder I had made for my fall, and I loved it so much. I thought it was so cute, so I am just redoing it. I'm painting it all in my Rust-Oleum linen chalk paint, and I'm just giving it a nice fresh coating, and I'm going to replace that part that says apples. And I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to do, but I knew it wasn't going to say apples because we're doing cocoa. So if you guys know me, you know I love my coffee, but I also love my cocoa. I am such a big fan of winter and fall and all these like cozy times. I just love it. I love chilly weather. I love all the holidays. So here I had picked up some stamps from Michael's in the clearance section, and I'm just giving them one quick little stamp, and there was no rhyme or reason. I just think these are all super cute, so I just did all the ones that I wanted to do. You could do whatever you wanted here, and if you haven't seen that other video, I will link it down in my description. And here it is. Very simple, super cute, and this could really go for a tiered tray or anywhere you just want to add a little cuteness, because this is adorable. Okay, so this one is literally so cute. So I have a bunch of wooden beads here, and I think I have 12. And you're going to see as we go, I wasn't sure what to do. So here I am painting them in my linen white, and I'm holding it with one of my tools for the Cricut. And I don't even use the Cricut anymore. I use a Cameo, but I love the tools and I use them for things that aren't even related to the Cricut. And I just think this is a great way to paint it. I'm going to show you here. I just have the ball and I am trying to pick it up, and then I say, why not just stick it through the hole? So that is definitely a good idea if you have fumbly, clumsy fingers like me. And I just did one coat of paint on all these balls. I did 8 white balls, and you're gonna see that once it dries, I do take it off and I just fix that little corner right there from where it was being held, and that's it, and I let it dry. So this was a little garland from the Dollar Tree. I cut it all off and I have it all separate right now. I painted it with a paintbrush first, my linen chalk paint. I was getting a little bit of a hand cramp, so I brought it out to my garage. If you guys know, I had shoulder surgery, so some things are still a little tough. I just spray painted it in the garage. It did just fine. And then I have the 4 other balls here, the wooden beads, and I painted that in my apple barrel flag red. So now I just have some twine here. You could use ribbon or string or whatever you have. I'm just tying a knot on this, and I'm hot gluing the knot so that way it doesn't fall through the hole. I'm not the best at making knots for some reason, so I just like to put my glue on just so it is secure. And I'm going to put the beads on now, and I do white, red, and white. And then I'm gonna adhere it or attach it to the next snowflake. As you can see, we are making a garland. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to make my knots again. So I do twine, the wooden beads, the snowflake, and then another knot. And we're going to keep doing this along the whole garland. So I wanted to show you guys what I did here. So I just cut the extra twine and I hot glue it down. I like everything to be super secure because we got kids in this house, we got animals, we got dogs and cats. Everybody runs around. We definitely have a busy house, and I do not want anything falling down or getting jostled around. So I am all about the function and securing it and make sure that it is secure. So we are going to keep going here. I have my white, my red, and my white again. And I only did one coat for the wooden beads. I think it had a great coverage. I wasn't too worried about it. And I am just putting those knots on the edges again. I just think this is the sweetest thing. I love garlands. I never was a big fan of garlands. I think I always attributed garlands to like a country theme, and I swear I don't know if it was, you know, somebody who had awful country style in my family or when I was growing up, but I hated country theme. And now I am about any kind of theme, any style. I ran to Hobby Lobby the other day and I picked up all kinds of Christmas decor, and I found this beautiful big shrub of these pine needles, and I'm just hot gluing these right to my snowflakes. And right now, you know, Hobby Lobby does not have coupons anymore, but they are having crazy sales on fall and Christmas. So definitely head there if you are close by to a Hobby Lobby. Here I am cutting up a little pick I had gotten from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to hot glue these right to my snowflakes. This is part of a challenge crafted by Corey's mini challenge. There are so many amazing creators on this playlist, so make sure you head down to my description to check them out. Also check out Corey's channel. If you haven't met her yet, you will love her, I promise. Now let's get right back into this project. I am so excited. This is the cutest craft ever. I am really loving this red and white with the green. I think it is very refreshing, and it is obviously super adorable. Like, I think this is the cutest garland I've ever made. And that little block there I made in a previous video. I will also link that down below. This is just so adorable and I love it so much. If you're new or coming over from the playlist, welcome. We are redoing our 1925-year-old cottage room by room. We do some home improvement, Dollar Tree crafts, DIY, gifts and decor, thrift flipping, and more. If you like these kind of videos, go ahead and subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know how much I appreciate you. I think this is seriously the sweetest thing I've ever made. I mean, maybe not really, but it's just so cute. So this was from the Target dollar spot. I think it was $3, and these are really nice. I did keep those little Merry Christmas guys for another project. Right now I'm going to use something I got from BeeBeeCrafts. I do have a link down below which will give you, I believe, $5 off of your first purchase. So here I am just going through the keys. It was a key and tag set. So I have the keys here and the tags are a little big, so I am just going to cut them down a little bit so they fit a little bit better around these little jars. I think this is so cute. I love vintage things. I love keys. I love like metal and paper. Like I just love all the different textures and colors of this. I think this is so sweet, but it didn't have enough for me. So I went through with that same flag red and I just dry brush like all around it. First I was just gonna do the corners and then I was like, let's just do it. Like go big or go home. It's Christmas. Come on guys. So I just went through the entire thing and I was gonna add some antique wax, but then I decided to go through with my stamp set again. I love my stamps that I got the other day that were on clearance. I just think they're super cute. And I just think this is a nice little added touch without having to pull out your Cricut or your stencils. Just a nice little stamp and boom, you're done. So here is some twine, and this came with a big bunch of twine. And again, you can just go to BeeBeeCrafts. I will have the link down in my description, but they have so many cute things. It is just adorable, such a cute website, and everything is really well priced. So I'm just gonna tie this right to my jar. These jars are for my cocoa and my marshmallows. Well, I actually didn't use marshmallows, which you'll see at the end because my family isn't a big marshmallow family. I am, but nobody else is. So I ended up putting some yogurt covered raisins just to have a little snack. But you'll see that at the end. Right now, we're still getting our cocoa bar ready. You guys know that my coffee bar, well, cocoa bar, is new. I love it. If you have one of these, do you love decorating for every holiday? I am obsessed. This is now my second time decorating it, and I am just so in love. And how adorable is this? Like that little thing with the wheels on it that was also found from the Target dollar spot. I believe it was $5. It might have been $3, but there was also a clearance section. So you guys know I was hitting up clearance. So here is some fabric ornaments. So the ornaments were from the Dollar Tree, and the fabric I got from Walmart, and I was trying a couple different things. So you're going to see me fumbling around for a little bit here. I decided to cut this in half and then try to stuff it inside, and I don't know what I was thinking because it wasn't working. I guess, I don't know, it just wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So I just went through and I cut strips. So no set size. I just kept cutting until, and ripping obviously, until I got to the size I wanted. And I'm gonna do this almost like I did my pumpkins, if you saw that a few videos ago, but this time at like an angle. So you gotta be careful because if you have the hot glue gun on the plastic, it will melt it. So just do a quick strip. Don't hold your hot glue gun on the plastic. You know what I mean? And if you have sensitive fingers, please be careful. I have neuropathy. I cannot feel the glue. Sometimes I do, but it is not that bad. But please, if you do not have neuropathy, protect your fingers. Even if you have neuropathy, protect your fingers. So you can see what I'm doing here. I am just putting a strip of glue and then I'm wrapping the fabric. I tried to roll it on the ball and it was kind of messy. So now I'm wrapping it, I'm holding it and pulling it tight and then wrapping it, and it's just giving a really cute finish. I am sealing the edge over there, so you can see I bent it just to make it a nice clean straight edge, and that's our first strip. So we're gonna keep doing this, guys. Like, this is gonna be a little monotonous, but I have a new craft room with a new TV, super exciting, so I can watch all my favorite crafters while I'm just doing these monotonous kinds of crafts. Sometimes I don't watch TV, so I definitely enjoy having quiet time, but for certain projects like this, it was nice having that TV. I could watch my friends crafting on YouTube. It was a nice evening. So I am just going to keep going. And if you see what I'm doing, there's no rhyme or reason. I am literally just putting on the fabric. I'm changing the sides up, and then I'm doing it the other way just so I can roll the entire ball up. Now this was sped up a little bit, and I am just going through now and hot gluing all the edges down so it's a little bit more bally, you know what I mean? So it's not like just fabric everywhere. So I'm just kind of tightening up everything. And I do have some twine here. I'm going back over the edge of the ornament. I had stuck it back in, and I will show you guys this again, but here is just a bunch of hot glue and a bunch of wrapping. So nothing special, just hot gluing and wrapping, hot gluing and wrapping. I was trying to cover up as much as I could of that silver. It is definitely a cheapy plastic, and I did not want it being seen. So here is kind of difficult to explain. So I looped it through, and now I'm looping it over my fingers, and I'm making a loop. I stick it back in, and I'm holding it where I want it so I don't close up the loop that I want, because I want to hang this. So now I have it where I want it, and I'm just going to make a couple of knots down at the bottom, and I'm just going in and out and making knots while I keep that loop around my finger so that way I don't lose the size that I want. I love this twine with this buffalo check. I think this is super cute, and I just think it's adorable. You could use this like on your Christmas tree as decor, or wherever you want to hang it. Maybe hang it from like your rear view mirror. Like, this is really, you could put this anywhere. And then I just hot glued the edge down so there were no free little guys hanging anywhere of the twine. And now this is for the second ornament. And I just did what I did before, but now I have more intention because I know what I'm doing. So I just ripped my fabric up, and now I'm going to do the exact same thing. I am hot gluing on the fabric, and then I'm wrapping it on the ornament. And I'm going to keep doing that. And again, you guys are going to see this a little faster in a second. And remember, I did roll over the edges and just clean up the edges a little bit so it wasn't like super frayed looking and uneven. And then around the edges of the ornament, you can see right now how it's kind of like boxy looking. So that's where I had gone through and I had tightened up all those edges that you can see out that are like looping out right now. All those got tightened up with hot glue. And I'm sure there's other ways you could do it, but I just had the hot glue out, and I would just hot glue it, push it down, hot glue it, and push it down. So it made a ball very quickly. And I just think this is so adorable. And again, you could do, I'm sure you could use like a really thin paper, but the fabric was really nice. And I had made some fabric pumpkins a couple videos ago, and I just loved how they came out. I'll put those down in my description too if you want to see the link to that video. But I'm doing the same thing. I just put it through the top of the ornament holder. I loop it around my fingers, and I'm going to match it to the size of the other one. And then once I get the size I want, I loop it through again. And then I'm going to start making some knots. So I just do like a bunch of different things. I'm sure there's like an actual way to make these knots that makes it like uniform, but I don't know how to do that. So I just did like little knots, and it worked out just fine. So however you do it, even if it's not the way that like textbook crafters do it, don't worry about it. You do whatever you want to do when you're crafting. There's no rule book. There's no wrong or right way of doing certain things. Do whatever is best for you. And that's it, guys. I'm just going to hot glue that little edge down again just so it looks finished and nothing is hanging. I think this is so sweet, and I just think it is a nice contrast with all that red and white that I have on my cocoa bar, and I just think this is super cute. One went in that little decor holder and one went next to the garland and is hanging, and I just think it is so cute. And I just hope the cat doesn't see it because he will definitely be knocking those over. So this one is really sweet. I have this little bottle here, and this is from Dollar Tree, and it has a little handle. Oh my goodness, it is so cute. So I had this glitter vase filler. I know I always say don't use glitter, but it is Christmas and I lie. Use glitter. Use all the glitter. It is a great holiday for glitter. And I'm just throwing in a whole bunch of these into my jar here. And they were all different sizes, some big ones, some little ones. I just threw them all in. And then I have these picks I had gotten from Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure what you call those. They're just like little pom-poms, super cute. So I had my twine out, and I decided to wrap the twine around the top of the jar, and then I was going to add the cork because I still wanted the cork there in case I want to redo this project again and I don't want to lose the cork. So it looks like I meant to do this for the look, but it's really so I can use the cork again at a later date. So I'm just hot gluing the twine to the cork, and I'm just going to leave it hanging there. So maybe for another holiday, I can try to take out some of those balls and reuse this. Who knows? I don't know, but I like to have my options open here. Plus, this is super cute. Like, I just think this is so adorable with the little cork hanging out, and you're gonna see it, but we have this little gnome over here. We have some other picks, and I'm just assembling everything and just sticking it all in. You can see the bottom of the picks here, but I don't think it really matters. I don't think it's really that noticeable. I mean, now that I told you, of course you're gonna notice it, but I just think it's super cute. And that gnome is adorable. I didn't make him, but you could just make him. But again, I got it at Hobby Lobby, and a lot of things were on sale, so I really didn't spend that much. I think he was like 90 cents. Super cute. Totally in love with this. So I have another fabric project here. These are little cones. I got these at Walmart. They came in a little 2-pack, and I'm just making sure that they fit inside my little holder there. This fabric I also got at Walmart, and I think I spent like $6.70 on all 5 of those pieces, and they're pretty big, so it was actually, you know, well worth it. And I am going to roll these up. And there's really no rhyme or reason, at least for me. I'm not sure. I had this idea, and then I actually saw Jackie from Blessed Beyond Measure do it with a different kind of fabric, but she still had issues too. So however you're gonna get it, just get it on there. It's, I mean, if you have a trick that works every time, please tell me. But for right now, I just hot glued it and rolled it, and then pulled it tight and hot glued it and rolled it. So, and I'm pretty sure that's what Jackie did. So I think I have seen people cut it in like almost like an oval shape at the bottom, and that way when you roll it, it just kind of goes along the edge. But again, I like easy crafts, and I wanted this to be quick and easy. Like I said, I had shoulder surgery, so not everything is super easy right now, and I was just trying to do easy crafts that I knew I could handle. So I'm just pulling this tight and trying to get all the seams down, and so it's nice and flat. You can see I had tucked the corners up on the top, and now I'm just cutting off the excess on the bottom. And now I am going to hot glue the bottom because I want this to stand up straight. So I'm just hot gluing it. Be very careful because I did get myself a couple times. For me saying I never hurt myself, I did get myself a couple times. So definitely use your finger protectors and be careful. And again, if you're using hot glue, and sometimes with the styrofoam, it definitely melts it. So be careful that you're not melting it and then melting your finger to it or whatever. So here we are doing the second tree. I had 2 of them in a package, so I figured why not? And I have a bunch of this fabric, and so I just cut it again, and we're gonna do the same thing, but now I kind of have an idea how I'm gonna do it because I just did it. I just want to remember like a little burrito just to tuck in the top. So I'm rolling it, seeing if I need to cut anything off, and then I'm just going to tuck those little pieces in. and I'm using, you could use like an adhesive spray, but I think when you're rolling it, it would make a little bit of a mess on like your mat or your table. That's just what I think, but go ahead and try it if you like that opposed to the hot glue. I think the hot glue worked just fine though. You could also use pins, whatever you have in your craft room or in your craft stash, whatever works for you. So I'm going to go around the bottom again, and I'm going to hot glue all the edges of the tree down. I just love all these colors. I think this is so adorable, and you could totally personalize this to whatever you like. I just love cocoa, so I was really excited about this, and I just think everything came together so sweet. Let me know what you think. This DIY is probably my favorite. So I went shopping at the thrift store and I saw this and I just completely fell in love. And I actually like the way it looks. All I need to do is take off this sticker so people don't know it's from the thrift store, but I'll tell them if they ask. And then I'm just filling it up with a bunch of filler to raise it up a little bit. I did put that piece of foam there so I can put some picks in this. And I am just filling this up with a bunch of greenery. I had gone to Hobby Lobby. They had a sale, 50% off. So I bought a bunch of greenery, some picks, and all different ideas. A lot of it is sparkly and definitely alpine looking. So I have some pine cones here, and I am just in love with all of these. And you don't have to go to Hobby Lobby. You can literally just go outside and grab some greenery. I live in the city. I do not have things like this in my backyard, but this is an easy flip for people who have items like this in the yard. I just love how this came out, and I am just arranging everything. I'm throwing some picks in, and again, Hobby Lobby, 50% off, guys. How sweet is this? And you saw how easy this was. I didn't have to do anything to this little pail. I think it is so great. I just love thrift shopping. You never know what you're going to find. And literally, this was in such great condition. I knew it was going to be perfect for my alpine ski lodge. The name of the game today is easy. This is seriously so easy and so adorable. So I have some spray paint here. This was already a beautiful silver color. It was just a little dirty, so I cleaned it up with some crud cutter, and then I noticed it was kind of wobbly, so I just went through with a flathead and I just tightened it up. So sometimes with thrift flips there is not much we need to do, but I did want to refresh this just a little bit. And I didn't want to change the color because the scheme that I'm going for and the theme with my alpine ski lodge. So I went out to the garage and I just spray painted this with a metallic silver. I gave it 2 good coats, and I did the sides and inside. You can see it's a candle holder. So I did get inside of all of that so everything is colored the same way. And then my idea was to use some glitter. Now you guys know how I feel about glitter, but I am all about it for Christmas. So I had this idea. You can see I'm trying different things. It did not work. I was trying to put glitter on just the edges of the leaves, and it just didn't work. So I just gave it a full coat of the glitter. And this is just a glitter spray paint. And then I really didn't care for it too much, so I just did another coat of that metallic silver over it. And then I went to Walmart. I picked up some candles and I stuck it in there, and that is it, guys. It is the simplest DIY. So cute. I am so in love with this. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. I had seen this picture frame and I knew exactly what I wanted to do with it. So here I am using the same spray paint to go with my theme. This is the silver metallic spray paint, and I did 2 good coats. I also painted the bottom of it. I did not do the glitter. I had thought about it, but I didn't. So this little piece of fabric here is from Walmart. I got it for like $1.47. It's a decent amount, so you can use it again for another project. I'm just gonna trace it out. This little piece was in the frame and I just popped it out, and we're just gonna cover it. So I'm going through with my fabric cutter and I am just going around the edges and cleaning this up. You could use scissors if you don't have these kind of tools. I happen to have this with my Dollar Tree cutter over here, and I love how neat it comes out. I have my spray adhesive here, and I'm gonna check this. It fits, although it's see-through. So I have some paper towel here, and I am hoping this will help with that see-through part. I did spray this off camera, and you can see I'm just smoothing it out now. And I spray this off camera because when I use this spray adhesive on my mat, for whatever reason, it is ruining it. So I just sprayed it off camera, and I'm just putting the fabric over my paper towels, and it is perfect. It is no longer see-through, and all I have to do is pop it back in, make sure it looks good, and then I'm gonna close off the little tabs here, and that is it, guys. So simple, so sweet. I am so in love with this. I think adding fabric to photo frames is just so adorable, and of course the fabric goes along with my Alpine Ski Lodge theme with my reds and my silvers. I just love it so much. I am in love with how this came out. If you were on my Instagram, you guys saw how excited I was about getting these skis. So I paid $15 for them, but I don't care because I am in love with them. So they're not like super vintage, but they're old and they were pretty disgusting. So I am just cleaning them up here. So I separated them and I'm trying to get it apart. My husband came in to help me, and he did all the hard work getting the screws off. And you could have left this. I mean, this is totally functional, but I don't ski. I haven't skied in years. I used to, but I haven't done that in years. So this is really just for decoration, but I did keep the little pieces in case I change my mind. So I'm going through and I'm just cleaning this up. So I decided not to use Crud Cutter and just to go in with some bleach because this was really dirty, really old. And I was thinking I might have to fix the paint on it, but everything looked really good. And I am so in love with this. Now this is definitely gonna be a staple for my Christmas decorations. I was thinking of putting it outside, but you know, I don't follow the rules, and I love the Alpine theme I'm going for in my living room. So these guys are just sitting up against the wall as decoration, and I could not be happier. I'm so happy that I found these. The things you find at thrift stores it's just amazing. You never know what you're gonna find, and I am so happy I found these, and I just love it so much. Let me know down in the comments what you think. So this little guy was super simple. It's just a bell, and of course it is functional. And to my husband's dismay, I was ringing it all over the house, and here I am just painting it with my rose gold. And then I thought it'd be kind of cute if I put a little bit of sparkle on it. Not too much, just a little bit. But my code word today is glitter, guys. So you guys know I am not a big fan of glitter. It is definitely needed though for the holiday season. Glitter it up. And don't forget, that's my code word, glitter.
All night long we're gonna dance and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song.
So I couldn't pass these up. I know they are adorable, and it really pained me to cover these up, but that's what we're doing today, guys. We are thrifting and flipping. So this is just that silver metallic spray paint again. I gave it 2 coats. You do want to make sure you're in all the little grooves. There are a lot of little details on this, and I thought about adding some color or maybe dry brushing on it, but after I saw it finished, I am so in love. I love how this came out. It is just so adorable. I love the shininess. I love the detail that you can still see, and I just love that it fits in with my Alpine ski lodge. So I am telling you guys, you gotta go thrift shopping. I literally spent like $20 on all these items, and I am just so in love how they all came out. This is seriously so adorable. I am obsessed with this. So these are some transfers from Club Couture, and I'm just cutting them out because this isn't a Club Couture service. You do want to wax it before you use it. So this is just some clear wax. And I did have a little mistake, not yet, but I'm going to show you guys. So this is my white. This is super easy to do. This is just a little tool that we use to scrape the paste on. And you can see it is super easy, and this one is called Bright White, this color, and it is so adorable. And all I'm going to do is just peel it up here, and you can see it came out perfect. So this one is my little oopsie. So I did the same thing. I am using my fuzzy cloth, and this just takes the stickiness away from the back of the transfer so you don't pull up any extra paint if you have anything down below underneath the transfer. And I did use my sage, and I think I used too much, but what I really think the problem was is that I didn't sand down these wood pieces. So these wood pieces are from Amazon. I'll have them down in my Amazon store, but you can see here that it bled, and it was kind of a nightmare, and that does not normally happen with chalk surfaces. So I'm gonna show you guys how I fixed it, but I'm gonna do one more little ornament here. And this is a pair of skates, and I did the green again. This is the sage color, only because I wanted it to match, and I'm gonna go through with my white after. So this one, I did have a little oopsie, but not as bad. And you can see I'm only doing part of the stencil. That is what is so good about this, is that you can interchange your designs and move things around and use whatever pieces you want. So here are my skates, super cute. I'm going to attempt to fix my Noel. So this is what I should have did before I stenciled it. I should have sanded it down just a little bit, but that's okay because we're gonna fix it, guys. We are DIYers, we can do this. So I just went through with a little tiny paintbrush here, and I went through with my Waverly. This is my red. This is from Walmart. And you can also get these on Amazon if your Walmart does not sell them anymore. So if I can find it on Amazon, I'll link it below. And all I'm doing is just adding the red where I had a little bit of bleed through. Again, normally you don't get bleed through, so you just want to make sure you prime your surfaces before you do your transfer. So this, I'm just adding some of that sharp white, so that way bright white, sorry guys. So that way it just adds a little extra something something. And this little tier tray I got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm in love with it. Oh my goodness, it is so cute. And I am just arranging it and hot gluing my pieces down. And all those little mini pieces I also got at Hobby Lobby. And I am so obsessed with this. These are little balls from Dollar Tree, and I'm just adding a little bling just to give it that little Christmas, Christmas spirit. And I am in love with this. So these are my pieces that I picked, and I did not use that little lantern, but it's super cute. So here they are all glued on, and the little presents were so adorable. And again, most of everything except for the little tiny balls were from Hobby Lobby. And I just love this so much. And I love these little wooden ornaments that I got from Amazon, again, down in my Amazon store. Super cute. Here is another super adorable mini project. So these are, again, my Club Couture surfaces. This is my paste, and I'm using Ocean Mist, Sage, and Bright White. So these are super sweet colors, and I love them. They're not traditional Christmas colors, but I think they're super cute. So first I get out my fuzzy cloth, and you want to do this if it's a brand new stencil transfer. You want to do this about 5 times. So you can see that that is all set. And I just laid it down on top of the surface. This is a Club Couture Christmas tree surface. So I'm taking my sage and I'm just going through with my little squeegee here. And there are different tools to use for the squeegees. I like this one because I wasn't going to use the entire transfer. So I wanted to be able to get into all the little crevices and not get those little stars and circles, which I do end up using, but I want to do a different color. So this green I think is beautiful, but it is not very dark on this tree. So not seen, but I do go over this with a white and make almost like a shadow effect, which you'll see in the end result pictures. But all I did was lay the transfer back over it and I just slid it down just a little bit. I'll show you guys in another video, only because I don't know where that footage went and I am sorry. But these little guys, oh my goodness, I am using my ocean mist to get the little stars, and I think they are so adorable. And again, it's kind of light, but it is so cute, and it's just because of the camera and the lighting in here. And I just think this is so sweet. You could do so many different variations here. I ended up going back with my minis from Hobby Lobby, and these are just mini ornaments. I thought it would add a little something. And so at first I started on every other side, and then I thought it just kind of looked boring. So I went through and did it to all of them. So I don't know, maybe I could have swapped up the colors a little bit, but I think it's super cute. And now you can see that white, like super bright here. I love anything that is mini. Like these little presents, just, they get me. I love them so much. And again, this is all from Hobby Lobby, all these little mini things. These are Jenga blocks from Dollar Tree, and you're gonna see, but I am just making a little base for my tree. I thought it was just gonna add a little something to it. So I'm just stacking them up and I'm hot gluing them together. You could use wood glue or hot glue, whatever you want. This is just to make a little base. Like I said, we're gonna make a couple of these. So this is for you, whatever size project you're doing. So here are some popsicle sticks, some craft sticks, and I am just marking off where I want to cut, and I'm using my little shear cutters, and I am just going to make a little shiplap. So after I cut them, and I can't use scissors right now for this because it's too hard with my shoulder surgery, but this is easier because all I have to do is put a little pressure on that shear cutter and then just bend it up. So you can see here I'm just hot gluing them down now after they're all cut and sanded down. And I do one on the bottom, one on the top, and I'm gonna do this to all 4 sides because obviously this is gonna be a crate for our Christmas tree. And I do have some fabric left over from a previous project, and I'm going to stick that in the bottom to be like a little blanket. But right here is just some antique wax just to give it a little different coloring than the Christmas tree. And that is it for this project. This came out so adorable, and I'm going to be putting this in my kitchen, but right now it is sitting in my craft room until I finish up my other Christmas decorations for my kitchen. And I just love this so much. This first DIY was a frame I had picked up from the thrift store. I had gotten this half price, mind you. It was originally $6.99 and I paid $3.50 for it. So I taped off the edges and I decided just to paint this chalkboard center. So I love the way that the frame already looked. So I just went through with my Waverly ink and I gave it one good coat. Now I could have done a second coat, but here I wanted to try some white dry brushing to see what it would look like, and I love the effect that came out. I did want to do 2 coats of whatever paint just to cover up those words underneath because I didn't sand it down. So I do go through and sand the dry paint off just to make it easier because I'm going to be putting some vinyl down. Now I haven't done vinyl in quite a while, so this was a little chore for me. I had to go back to my roots here. So I made that on my Cameo, and I think it's super cute, and this is just to go in my living room to go along with my ski lodge theme that I'm working on. And I think this is so sweet. Again, I made this through Cameo, but you could make something very similar in clip art or you know, wherever you do your, you know, anywhere you make your clip art. And then I just transferred it over to my Cameo Silhouette Studio and printed it out. And now you can see I am just laying it down where it looks nice. I am measuring a little bit, but just kind of eyeing it. And there were a couple different pieces here. Now I did use some very thin fonts, and I did have some difficulty with this. So I probably next time use some thicker fonts. I love the way it came out though, but it was a little bit of extra work because I am used to using my chalk couture now. So this was definitely a lot of extra steps. So this is my Mod Podge. I always put it over my stencils. This just reduces bleed through. And as I said, I have a couple different parts here and they are all gonna get the same color. So I'm just gonna go through like a little conveyor belt. And now this is my elephant from Waverly, and I'm going through with a little foam brush and I'm just giving it one good coat. Now you do see when I pull this up that some of my letters did pull up, which does seem to happen to me whenever I use chalk paint over a stencil, but we'll see how it goes. So now you can see I definitely had a little difficulty pulling this up. I definitely let it dry too long, so that was my bad, but I am going to clean it up. So here I'm just weeding it out, and you get a little bit in my head, so that's okay. But I do have to fix a lot of this. I don't know if it's because of dry brushing or that I left it on too long, but as you can see at the bottom here, a lot of it came off, and so I definitely have to go through and fix it. But I wanted to get all the little pieces out first and just clean it up the best I can before I go through. Now I am not the best when it comes to any kind of detail painting, like my hands aren't steady, but I did the best I could and my husband loves it, so I guess I did a good job. But here I am just going through, and I didn't record myself painting it only because, like I said, I'm a little difficult with that, so it took me a little while. So this is adorable. I just love the way this came out. I think it is so sweet. So it's definitely a little small for the area I put it in, but I just love it. I think it has a very vintage look to it, and I did leave some of the spots when I was painting it just because I wanted it to have that vintage look. And I love the way it came out. I think it is just super sweet and adorable. So I had made this sign on a live, but I did want to share the full project with you because it is super cute. So this is a Dollar Tree board. I just filled in the holes and I flipped it over, and I am painting this with my Waverly chalk paint in red. I do 2 coats of it, and then I do some lines, and not seen, but they were just lines that I did with a charcoal pencil, and then I smudge it with my finger so that way it gives it that like wood planky look. And then I go through with my antique wax and I'm going around the edges as well as the lines. And this is just to give it like that vintage board kind of feel. So whenever you do chalk couture, you always want to put down a little clear wax before you put down your stencil. So this is where I was doing the live and I wasn't exactly recording everything. So here is what I was doing, the front version. So I was just covering up my board, you're gonna see. So this is just the transfer that we use in chalk couture, and then we have a little squeegee and we just put on a little bit of the paste. Now this is special paste made by chalk couture, so that way there's less bleed through and it is a reusable stencil. So here I'm just peeling it up. You don't have to wait for it to dry, and I love it. There is a little bit that missed on this and that I could have added a little bit more, but I love how it came out. I think this is so sweet, and this just adds a perfect little addition to my Christmas decorations. And of course, I just think it's so cute. So if you haven't tried chalk couture, you definitely need to. This is so much fun and so quick and so easy, and you could really do so many beautiful pieces. So here's another project that I did not share from beginning to end. So I had gone to the Club Couture tour and we got to do an art project on site. So this is what you would get if you were doing the Club Couture. It would come with a surface, a transfer, which is just a stencil, and 3 sample paste. And it's just enough to do for a full project, plus it's reusable. So here I am at the Club Couture event. I am wearing a t-shirt that Jamie made for me from What's Jamie Making. And as you can see, I did mess up a little bit, so I went back home and now I'm going to fix it. So like I said, these transfers are reusable. So here is my transfer that I already used. So you do want to fuzz it, even if it's your second time using it, just to make sure you don't peel up the paint that is already there. So I'm just going to line this up the best I can because I want to fix the parts where I missed it a little bit. And you can see that all there, it's just missing a little bit of paint. So I just have a little bit on the end of my squeegee and I am just going to fill it in. And like I said, these are reusable, so you could use just a part of the stencil or you could use all of it. You could use a part of a different stencil and add to this. But I think this is super sweet and a really nice gift to give for Christmas. So I am super excited that now my Christmas gifts are almost done this year. Like, I'm so happy. And then I just peeled it up. And that's it, guys. Like, it is so sweet, so quick, so adorable. I am in love with these designs. I think they are just so high end and I just love everything about chalk. Like, I just love it. I love it so much. If you've been thinking about doing chalk, November is a great month to start because they have a lot of deals right now, a lot of sales and Black Friday sales, and the kit is amazing. So if you guys remember, I had made these planters a couple weeks ago when we started to redo our kitchen. Our kitchen is finally done, guys. I am just trying to get the video together. But these poor plants, they were dead and I definitely needed to spruce it up. So I decided to wash them out and clean them all up, get the dead plants away. And we're going to add a little Christmas flair to my kitchen. So these are just some floral foam blocks and I'm just cutting them down to size to fit inside of my planters. So I had gotten these picks all at Hobby Lobby when they had a half off sale for Christmas. So everything was pretty much $1, and no offense to Dollar Tree, but these are so much more high end than Dollar Tree. I do have some Dollar Tree over here though, just to add in. So each planter I have 6 altogether, and 4 are going to be getting some plants. So I am just cutting everything up and you're gonna see I'm doing it like a little assembly line. I'm just putting some gold and greenery in 2 of them and silver and greenery in 2 of them. And then wherever I needed to add some filler, I just grabbed some Christmas looking florals and just stuck them in. So no rhyme or reason here. I just wanted them to look festive and adorable and not so much Christmas, but winter-ish, you know? So I think this definitely brings a nice little touch to my kitchen. And now you're gonna see, this is why I cannot stand glitter. This is it, guys. Like, I had to vacuum this so many times because it was just glitter everywhere. So now I have these little blocks. These are from the Dollar Tree. These little presents are from Hobby Lobby from the mini section. So I didn't want to use all my presents because I have these Dollar Tree blocks. So I just separated them into baggies, just like you would for wooden beads. You can do the same thing with the wooden blocks. So I just used my Waverly paint and I just rolled it all around. And this is just a little bit of parchment paper just because the paint won't really stick to it. So I'm going to do the same thing with the green. I'm just going to roll it around really good, give everything a nice coating. And these are going to be presents and they are the perfect size. So now I am just going to drop them out and I'm going to let them dry. And you know, I did separate them so they didn't stick together, just so I had maximum coverage of the paint. And I just think these are so adorable. And Mary Beth actually gave me the idea to make presents with Jenga blocks, but then I had these guys and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this instead because this is so cute. So I just use a little bag from the grocery store, and I am using that as filler. I have some Christmas tissue paper here, and now I'm just going to go through and hot glue these little blocks. Now these are going into the top of the planter, so you're not going to see the entire thing. So I really just did like the front and a little bit on the sides, because you're not really going to see the back unless somebody takes it out, you know what I mean? So I'm just alternating here between the red and the green blocks and the presents. So the presents weren't actually that expensive. They were probably, I think they were like $5.99 for that full box, but again, they were half off because Hobby Lobby had their half off Christmas sale. And this is it put together in my brand new kitchen. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to share it with you guys. It's a lot of work because there was a lot of remodeling. But I am in love with these little planters. I think they are so sweet, and I am happy to get the dead plants out of it. And I'm sorry I had dead plants, and I did try to nurse them back to health. I'm just not a plant lady. So I am much better. I added a little bit of Christmas festive holly right there, and that just hangs right in the middle. And I just think these are so sweet, and obviously you saw how easy it was. All I did was add some festive to my kitchen. I think this is so sweet. Anybody could do this, and you don't have to make your own planters. Just get a cup and put some floral arrangements together. I think this is so sweet. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this DIY.
Tomorrow it is Christmas.
If you saw my video from last night, you know that I went on a wonderful trip and I had a lot of inspiration. And one of my inspirations was this pine cone candle holder. And so I have my candle already here. This is something I already had in my home, so I just wanted to spruce it up. I'm just using foam on the bottom, just like styrofoam, just so that way it has like a base and I can put the candle in and out, so whenever I need to swap out the candles. So here I am just hot gluing my faux pine needles that I got from Hobby Lobby. So they came in, I think it was like a 6 foot or maybe an 8 foot garland, and it has nothing on it except for the greenery. And I just cut them up to fit on the styrofoam, and I'm just putting it so you don't see the styrofoam. And this is just gonna be my base. That way I can still take my candle out. But you're gonna see, we're getting there, guys. This is so cute. So the one I saw at the store was all brown and sparkly, but I did not have brown leaves and it wasn't gonna look the same. So I decided to use what I had on hand. And like I said, Hobby Lobby had a 50% off coupon. So I went to town on these picks and all these different greeneries. So these pine cones I did get from Michael's, and I did that the other night. I had a $15 voucher and a 20% off coupon, so I don't normally splurge on pine cones, but why not, guys? So here I am, I'm just picking different pine cones and deciding where I want them and hot gluing them to my candle. Now I do have these little pine cones. They are so sweet. These were from Michael's. Now, if you live somewhere where you have pine cones, go outside and pick some pine cones. I do not. I live in the city, so we do not have pine cones. And I just love how this came out. You could keep going and make it more full, but I actually like the way it came out. I think it was very sweet. You can see I was trying to use those green moss balls over there, but it didn't really work out too well. So I just stuck with the pine cones. And then I have a very large pick that I had pulled apart. So you can see right here, they are bendable. So I did not hook. Oh, did I hook? I think I hot glued them. You're going to see. I just stuck them in where I thought it looked nice. Again, this is all up to your preference. Use less greenery, use more greenery, add flowers, do whatever you want. I just wanted it to be like a whimsical, natural looking candle holder. And I think I achieved that. I personally feel like this looks very high-end. You let me know down in the comments what you think, but I am so in love with this. And again, you could have done more to it, but I think it's perfect just the way it is. And of course, I put it on my favorite table that I have in the corner of my house. This is a table I got at an estate sale. I don't know what year it was made. It is definitely an antique and it is beautiful. And I thought it was just perfect.
Tomorrow it is Christmas.
Okay, you guys know I am not a big wreath person. I am also not a big bow person, but here we are. So this is a wreath that I had. I am not sure if I got this at a thrift store or maybe my grandmother. I'm not really sure. This is 100% somebody else's DIY, and it really did pain me to take it all apart, but I did because I'm redoing it, guys. So this Mary is a Dollar Tree Mary, and it's super thick. It is very nice quality. So I went through and I painted it very easily because I didn't want any drips, because I just wanted it on the top. That way you still saw some wood on the sides of it. So I just went through nice and slow, and then I am going through and I'm going to give it a little sanding just to make sure, because I did use my plaster chalk paint, so it was a little chalky. And now I am going to use my clear wax, and I'm going to wax the entire word Mary. I'm going to be putting some Club Couture transfers on here, and anytime you use something that is already painted, you want to put the clear wax on it. So this is a brand new transfer, so you should do it 5 times. Not seen here, but I did do it 5 times. This is a fuzzing towel, and here I am not using the full transfer. I am only using the plaid. I think the plaid is super sweet, and I love the berries that were on the wreath. So I found my pink. I love this color. This is so pretty. I am just so in love with Club Couture. I literally, at first, I didn't think I was going to love it, guys. Like, I really didn't. But as I started using it and I realized how easy it was and how many different variations of things you can make with it, it really grew on me. So you can see here, I am just doing one section at a time. There may be an easier way of doing this. I don't know. I'm still new at it, but I had fun. So I just went through and did one section at a time. And I just used my heat gun and I dried it in between for like 10 seconds. It dried really quick. And I just wiped off the transfer if there was any extra paint, just so it wouldn't seep through the next time I moved it over, if you know what I mean. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just laying down the transfer where I think it looks lined up the best I can. And then I do put my paste on the end of my squeegee and I just squeegee it down. And obviously these are all different shaped letters, and I'm just doing my best to not put too much on and not rub too much off, but it is coming out amazing. So now I'm just going to start playing with some ribbon here. Now I don't want you guys to get crazy, but I bought a bow maker. So it's coming in the mail tomorrow, and I don't care. I am not the greatest at bows, and this year I have a lot of bows to make. So I am going to use my bow maker, and I can't wait. But right here, you guys are seeing me making a bow. All I did is use my Dollar Tree ribbon. This is my Dollar Tree wired ribbon. And I'm cutting out a couple of different strands because we're gonna, I don't know the name of the bow, but you know the one that it's not like an actual loopy bow. So here, that was me making the tails, which you'll see after. I'm still just cutting up the different strips. So I want a couple longer ones and some shorter ones, and then I wanted some different colors, so I had these wired ribbon from Michaels, and I just kind of layered the Dollar Tree one and then the Michaels, Dollar Tree and then the Michaels, and I just moved them all around. And then I'm going to use my little Chanel stem here, and I'm just going to pinch it in the middle the best I can. I'm going to wrap my stem right around it, and I'm going to give it a nice twist in the back. Now these are good to keep on it, so that way you could adhere the bow to the actual wreath. I'm not going to do that, but you're going to see. So here I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit, fluffing it out. And this is the tails that I made. I just folded them on top of each other just so it was one piece, but looks like 2 tails. And then I just took another piece of ribbon here just for the center. Like I said, I am not a big bow maker. I love bows. I am just not the best at it. So I do what works for me, and it gets done. So whatever works for you guys, keep doing it. Don't worry what other people say. There is no rule book to bows. I mean, probably there is, but you don't have to do it a certain way. Do it whatever way you want. And you can see here now, I'm just going to hot glue this little centerpiece here. I love this ribbon. I think it is so pretty. Again, I got this on my Michael's trip the other day. So here I'm just doing some dovetails, and all you do is pinch it and then cut it. And if you cut it the other way, it just makes it point downwards, if you know what I mean. So it doesn't matter, whatever way you like. And now I have my little wreath and my Club Couture transferred Mary, and I'm just hot gluing it right to the wreath. This will not be outside. It will be on an outside door, but I have my storm door on top of it, so it's not going to get any rain on it, and not many people go through that door, so there won't be any kids slamming doors or anything. So I really didn't need it to be too secure. So I did decide not to put the bow at the top. I thought it looked nice right here because it was kind of like a bald spot. I am in love with this, guys. You know I am not very rustic, and this to me looks rustic, but I love it. Like, I love it so much. I just think it is so sweet, so simple, and so easy, and I just love it. I love it so much, and I love the Club Couture on here. Like, it is just so nice and so high-end. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed and you were inspired, please consider subscribing. Don't forget, this was a playlist, so follow along for Shop Your Home and a chance to win a $50 gift card. I have a lot coming up, so make sure you hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. You can find me on Instagram as Freckled Mom, as well as check out my links to my Amazon store. And if you are looking to get in touch with me for Club Couture, you can check out my links, which are in my link tree, also down in my description, or you can just send me a message and let's talk chalk. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys back on Tuesday. I have a collab with my friend Rhonda from the Distressed Princess, and I am super excited, so I will talk to you very soon. Every good fireplace needs a good garland. I am in love with this garland. These are from the Dollar Tree. I ended up using 4 of them, but right here I'm going to show you how to make the garland with 2 of them. So first we're going to obviously get it ready and cut it all up, and we're going to spread it out. So it's all, I think these are like 5 feet or 6 feet long, and I'm just kind of getting the kinks out of it, you know, because it's been wrapped up in this little package, and I'm laying it out flat. And then I take this second one that I have, and I'm cutting it up, and I'm cutting it into like these little pieces. I didn't measure them. I just cut them out to add just a little more like substance to it, if you know what I mean. So like I said, I did use some more, which I will explain at the end. But really, I think you just need 4 of them. So here are some pine cones. You could go outside and just pick some pine cones. I live in the city, so we don't have pine cones, and I had to go to Hobby Lobby and buy some. But I'm sure you could get these if you were looking around your thrift store. I've seen them a couple times, and also, you know, different craft stores have them, not just Hobby Lobby, but Michael's, and Michael's always has really good deals. So definitely check out the prices before you buy. All I'm doing is hot gluing them to the garland, and I think this is just super sweet. Definitely a cabin feel to me. I did have some glittery ones, but I chose to just use the simple ones that had no glitter or extra embellishments. Now, I did have a pick from Hobby Lobby that I've been working off of for a couple weeks now, and just taking it apart and using pieces I wanted. It had little pieces of sticks, so I thought that would definitely add to my natural kind of cabin feel. So I glued the sticks in, and now I'm gluing these extra little pine cones. So I'm not sure what they're called, but they're just little embellishments that I pulled off the pick. And I think these are super sweet, and obviously it's all fake. So if you wanted to sprinkle some, you know, balsam or cedar essential oil on it, you totally can do that. Or maybe just do like a Glade plug-in in the corner, just to give you that Christmas winter feel and get the scents, you know what I mean? So these are some berries from a Dollar Tree pick, and I just broke them up. You can see that some of the red is off of the ones that I broke off. That's okay, because you're gonna see. I'm gonna tell you in a second. But okay, it's not a second right now, guys. So this is why I said it was okay that we had some white on the berries, because I'm going to do a little flocking, a little snow action here. So this is just my chalk paint, linen white. I'm just going through with my dry brush, and I am just dry brushing some paint on this. You could do so many different things. You could get some water and baby powder and do the same thing, where you just put some water on it and sprinkle the baby powder on it. Or you could get some flocking spray from Walmart. I think this came out so adorable. I'm so in love with this garland. Like, I love my fireplace. I love the classic feel of it. I thought this would be a perfect place to put my garland. And again, this is totally cabin, which is out of my comfort zone, but I'm loving it, guys. Like, I love the berries. I love the pine cones and the snow. I love everything about this. I just think it gives off that cozy Christmas feel. These present tags double as ornaments, which I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. So I have some Scrabble tiles here, and you could get them out of Scrabble games, but I actually get them off Amazon, which I have a link in my Amazon store. There are like 5 bags of Amazon tiles, and it is a great deal. So here I am just hot gluing them together to spell out the name of my children. This could be something you give as a gift to anybody. I mean, literally anybody. Just spell their name out and make a little tag for their gift. So you're going to see me keep going here, and these are great, which I'm going to show you that we're going to add some twine, and you can make this into an ornament. So right here, you guys see I'm on a little bit of a struggle bus making my little ribbons here. I thought these would be cute and simple to go with the cozy cabin feel, and I make one for each of my ornaments. Well, Christmas tags, but you guys are gonna see that. So here we are making the twine holder. So this holder is just twine, obviously, and I'm wrapping it around my finger, and I'm making a little knot, and this is going to hang the Christmas tag from the present, but also once they open their present, they can use this hanger as the ornament. See, guys? Genius, right? So this is definitely adorable. I'm in love with it. I cannot wait to make like a million more. Okay, not a million, because I don't know a million people, but you know what I mean. So I just hot glued it right to the back. Hopefully, if you have like little kids that are opening presents, I wouldn't put this on their presents, because I mean, you could break it. It's just held together with hot glue. But if you wanted to reinforce it on the back, you could just put like half of a popsicle stick right down the back where you wouldn't be able to see it, you know. So here I am making little bows. I got my bow maker finally, and yeah, maybe it's cheating a little bit, but you know what? I got neuropathy. I got arthritis. I don't care. I'm going to do whatever is easy for me. So you guys can see I am doing what is on the instructions over there to my left, and it's just really tying knots around 2 sticks. Like, that's it, guys. So I'll make a video soon about the bow and the bow maker and all the different little holes there for the different sizes, because there's a lot of bows you can make with this. So for people who are not bow experts like myself, this is definitely a quick little trick here, so I love it. These are dovetails that I'm cutting here, so you don't have to do that. I just think it adds that little extra flair to it. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas or Easter or whatever. I just love dovetails. I think they're so sweet. So I have a little bit more of my garland here, and I'm just cutting little pieces off. I'm cleaning it up just so it's not so big. I want it to be a little smaller, and I'm gonna hot glue everything to this bow. So here are some more of those berries. Again, these you can get at Dollar Tree, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, wherever you want to get your berries. You could go outside and pick some berries, guys. It doesn't have to be something you bought at a store. So I just hot glued it right to the middle of my bow. Already, it's adorable. So now I'm going to add the little bows, the little berries, and a bow. So you're gonna see we are just layering this right up. I do have a little pine cone here. This guy is so cute. You guys know I love my minis. And now I have that cute little bow that I made. I did not put fire to it to get the scragglies off. I left it. I thought that would add to like the cabin charm. I just think this is so sweet. And you guys know I am not the best at bows, so for me to be able to make a bow, I'm happy. So I did put that bow maker down in my Amazon store. I'm gonna make the second bow here, and you saw all I'm doing is hot gluing everything to each other, and then I hot glue the bow right to the top of my tag. And I think these are so sweet. I think anybody who receives a gift with this on it is gonna be so happy. Like, they're just gonna love it so much, especially that you can turn it into a Christmas ornament after. So this is a present that I've wrapped. Here is my Dollar Tree, this is from Michael's, this ribbon, and it's wired. And what I'm doing here, I'm crossing it. This is the back, so I cross it over. You can see that. And then I wrap it over to the front. Now there's a million different ways you could do this, but I am doing it pretty simple right here, guys. So I'm just pulling it so I can wrap it back to the back again, so you don't see any of the seams on this ribbon. I'm cutting it off. Of course, you can see that. And then I'm just gonna hot glue this right to the package. I love making my presents beautiful. Like, I just think that is the added charm to Christmas, is receiving a beautifully wrapped present. That's perfect as is to me. I think that's adorable. And now we literally just upscaled it so much, guys. So I'm just gonna hot glue it right to the present, because these are a little heavy, so you just, just make it so it can get to your recipient without falling apart. So I have a bag here with some tissue paper, and I'm taping it to the bag. So now you can see it is done in 2 different ways. We got our bag, we got our box. I love this so much. Yeah, you can kind of not see the W there, but that's okay, guys. It's all right. So I'm in love with this. Like, I love it so much. Let me know down in the comments if you love wrapping presents beautifully, or you just like a quick wrapper because they're just gonna unwrap it anyways. Let me know down in the comments. So now we're gonna make some fake birch logs. So this is a pool noodle from Dollar Tree. I picked white, which it really doesn't matter. They have different colors. We're gonna be painting this. So I'm just cutting this. I didn't measure it. I'm just cutting them. I want them to be, different shapes, different sizes. Obviously they're not different shapes because they're all cylinders. So I wanted to get that different size in there. So here I'm just going with my truffle. This is a Waverly paint made by Plaid. And I'm just giving this one good coat over the entire noodle. It actually dries pretty quick, guys, so you don't have to worry about drying time. I definitely wouldn't use your heat gun on this because you don't want to melt the foam, but it dries quick. So here I'm going through now with my chalk paint, Linen White. It's from Rust-Oleum, and I'm just kind of putting it on. I'm not really paying attention how heavy or how light. I just want to get that white on there, but I do still want to see that brown through it. And I'm gonna do this to every pool noodle. And so what I ended up doing, I tried a couple different things, which you're gonna see here. So I do have 2 different colored noodles, but I just love the way this looks already. Like, I just think it looks so sweet, but I wanted to add like that birch feeling to it. And I don't live near birch trees. Like, I don't have those kind of logs. So I'm only seeing what is on the internet, So I'm just making some lines here with that truffle paint. And I didn't feel like it was really giving me the exact feeling I wanted, but kind of, I don't know. I think it does, but I do feel like it needed a little bit more. So I did go through with my elephant. I added just a little bit more color. I did use my fingers to like kind of smear it in a little bit, just because I'm out in nature. It is not going to have perfectly lines like that. But I think it came out really cute. So if you have any tips on how you make your birch logs, let me know down in the comments. And I'm just gonna keep doing this to a bunch of them. I have these wooden ornaments I got off of Amazon, and I thought they were gonna be perfect just to make it look like a real log, you know what I mean? So I covered up that foam look. And I'm just hot gluing them right to the top. You could reuse these after the fact. You would just have to peel off the glue. So don't feel like you're wasting wood ornaments. Everything I use is down in my Amazon store, guys. So if you want to get these ornaments or the bow maker, it's there. So I got this little pail half off at Michael's. I thought it was super sweet, and I thought it was perfect to put my logs in. This will go down next to my fireplace after I make some more DIYs to fill up the space up here. but I am in love with how these came out. I think they are so sweet, and I love this bucket. I'm so happy I got it half off. Oh, and I had a coupon too. But I just think it's so sweet and so adorable. This DIY is super adorable and super easy. So first I have some Dollar Tree jars here, and I decided to do some cameo action, guys. I wanted to go back to my roots and do some weeding and some vinyl, and everything came out adorable. So I did a bunch of different winter themed cameo vinyl decals. I wasn't sure which one I was going to do. So this one, of course, is a little reindeer, and you're going to see, but we are making a basket for us to enjoy for Christmas Eve, as well as to leave out treats for Santa and his reindeer. So again, these are just some reindeer decal, and if you wanted to make this permanent, definitely put some Mod Podge on this just to seal it in. I didn't do that because I might not keep this. I might reuse this for another holiday. But this was super simple. I just cut it out on my cameo and laid it down with my transfer paper. So now I am going to do some Club Couture here, and this is just a little bit of my defuzzing. So whenever you are using a transfer, you want to defuzz it first. And this is my first time trying it on a round surface. It was a little difficult, but again, it was my first time. So you guys are witnessing magic here. So I did do the entire word at first, and it made a big mess. So I definitely had to pay attention a little bit better and make sure I put my transfer down nice and straight. So I did my J first, and that came out great. So I decided not to do the O and instead wait for the J to dry. And then I went through and did my Y. Now, I'm a Club Couture designer, so if you have any questions or want to purchase any products, go ahead and message me or put a comment down below. This is super simple and such a nice addition to our crafting techniques. So now I'm going to go through with my vinyl decals. I have this little tiny snowflake. It fits perfect as my O. And now we have Joy, and it is so sweet. I am so in love with this, and it was so easy, guys. So I just love Club Couture. I think it just adds a little extra something something, and it's just so easy. I love it so much. And not on camera, but I did print out some marshmallow word, and I am in love with this. I think this is so sweet. Let me know if you are a mini marshmallow or a regular size marshmallow person. Obviously, I'm a mini marshmallow person. Here is my reindeer food with my reindeer decal. Again, don't feed this to reindeer. It's too much sugar, but it's adorable and it's a nice snack for you. And now we got our cookies for Santa.
Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me. Hang back.
This is another super sweet and super easy project. These are the Dollar Tree salt shakers and mason jars. They're in where you would buy like the cups and the plates and those kinds of things. I think they're super cute. So I brought it out to my garage and I gave it a little spray paint. I just used a white spray paint, and I did give it 2 coats. And I think these are so super cute because they're mason jars and they're mini and they're just adorable. So I have all those decals that I had printed out earlier. So here is one for my hot chocolate, and I'm not putting hot chocolate in this little mini guy. It's just to be adorable, but it's super cute. And I'm sorry about the jumpiness. I recorded this on the wrong mode apparently, but you get the gist of it, guys. So hang in there. The rest is not this jumpy. So I also did one that says kisses on it, and you're gonna see why, but these are so cute. So kisses and my hot chocolate, and this goes directly to my theme, and we have some kisses that we are going to be filling these up with. This is a black painter's paint pen, and I'm just doing a little enamel wear. So I have done this a couple times. I do it with a stamp pad or this paint pen. I think they both come out very nice, but I think the paint pen is just a little bit sharper and a little darker, and I think it looks super adorable. I think enamelware is definitely a classic. I don't think this will ever go out of style, and I think it's super cute. Even if you don't like farmhouse, I just love this. I think it is so sweet and super easy to do. Let me know how you do your enamelware down in the comments. If you use a paint pen or a stamp pad or something completely different. I think these came out so sweet, and of course I filled them up with some kisses. Here are some peppermint kisses and some confetti kisses, which I didn't even know were a thing. So of course we have some cake, we have some peppermint sticks, we have some kisses and some marshmallows. So now we need hot cocoa. Hot chocolate is my favorite go-to for winter. So this is just another jar from the Dollar Tree, and I'm giving it 2 coats in my Rust-Oleum white spray paint. I probably could have done a 3rd coat, but here is where I did a little boo-boo, a little happy accident. So I should have Mod Podged this. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it would be okay, but I did have a little accident. So here I'm just putting down my vinyl letters and I'm smoothing it out with my finger, and yep, there's my first little accident. So I'm going to start peeling it a little slower now. We're just peeling the transfer up, and I'm taking my time making sure that all the letters are adhered down. Again, I haven't used my Cameo, guys, for like weeks now because I've been doing chalk for so long. So there's another little boo-boo. And here's a big boo-boo. So again, I spray painted this, so I can't just spray paint it again. So I did use my chalk white paint and I just filled it in, but it was super noticeable. So I had these window clings and I was like, wow, why don't I just try it? And I think it worked out perfect, guys. So happy accidents are happy for that reason. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Figure out what's in your craft stash and what we can do to fix it. So again, these are window clings and they weren't really clinging too well because it's spray paint. So I did use a little bit of Mod Podge. I just put it on the back of the window cling and then I just laid it on top of the painted little mistake. So you can see it if you really look close, but I mean, this is really for my family, and I don't think anybody cares what the hot cocoa bottle looks like. But if you were to be selling this or giving it as a gift, I would definitely seal the spray paint before doing any kind of vinyl lettering. So I am just doing a couple more pieces here to just add a little extra something and just kind of even it out. But I just love how this came out. Obviously, we are not really putting hot cocoa in this because I did spray paint it. And on those little jars I filled up earlier, I did spray paint the tops with matte black. So definitely don't put any food inside of things that have spray paint just because it's not safe, guys. So I decided to do another look for the enamelware, and I'm just going around with my paint marker. And again, this is just what works for me. You guys do what works for you and what's easy for you. I really do like using a stamp pad. I do have some videos if you would like to see where I do use a stamp pad, but I've been using the marker and I think it comes out a lot better.
With the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do.
I am so obsessed with this. I think this is so adorable, even with the little happy accidents. Everything that I printed off for this project, I either wrote out for the words or I found it on the Silhouette Studio. So this is definitely something you could do on the Cricut as well. So now we need a basket, guys, to fill it all up. So this is just a basket that I got at Savers. I think it was like $1.99. I hung it from a nail in my garage and I spray painted it. I could have done 2 coats. I probably should have done 2 coats, but I was running out of spray paint and I figured I would do it on another date when I got more spray paint. So for right now, it's got 1 coat, which really did a pretty decent job. So you definitely want to make sure you get in all the little crevices when you're doing paint. I like to paint with the paint brushes just because I enjoy it, but you can do whatever you like. I think this came out perfect. Here are the cookies for Santa, and we are just going to get ready for our evening, guys. Of course, this is not until Christmas Eve, but I am not too worried about it. And of course, I'm going to grab a little cookie for me. I think these came out so sweet, and I love this tradition. This is something me and my kids have done for years. Yes, I'm making a mess. It doesn't matter, guys. It's Christmas. Like me with sparkles, I only use them at Christmas, so I don't care about a mess around Christmas time. I think it is just so much fun, and I just love everything. I love everything about Christmas, the snacks, the gifts, the family, the time, the memories. I just love everything. I love it so, so much, and it's just something so special to me. If you follow me on Instagram, you guys know about my medical history and what happened to me on Christmas 5 years ago, and if not, ask me. I will let you know about it. It's kind of a long story, so I won't do it here, and I'm not going to ruin the Christmas mood, guys. We are filling up our jars, and now we are going to fill up our basket. This towel is super thick. It's super durable. I got it from Grove. I like to do all my cleaners from Grove online. They are an organic company. Everything is green and clean, and I love it. So that's where that towel came from. These white towels just came from Walmart, and I just folded them up, and I'm sticking a little towel underneath it just so it has like a little extra bump, you know, just so that way you can see everything in the basket. And I'm just gonna arrange everything how it looks adorable. We have some movies for our movie night on Christmas Eve. That is a part of our tradition. It's always a different movie, but it's always a Christmas movie. So that is all set. I have my little candle going over there. This is some hot cocoa from a project I did a couple weeks ago. And I'm just going to start filling everything up. These cups came from Dollar Tree. I think they're so cute. The peppermint sticks came from Walmart. These things are huge. And these are just some books that I had laying around. I thought it would make a cute little decoration, and I just love everything. I love the colors. Obviously, every hot chocolate needs marshmallows. So we have a booth that we sell a lot of different things at, but I wanted to set it up for Christmas, and I wanted to also let people know about my chalk products. So here I am first painting this board. This is just a mixture between a Waverly red paint and ink, and I just kept mixing it until I got this nice plum color. I also added in a little flag red just to give it a little bit more redness. And after I went through and I just sanded it a little bit, and then I did a second coat. Now I flipped over this board and I'm doing my plaster. Now I had gotten this board for 90% off of fall boards from Rite Aid. I was so excited. I paid a couple, I'm not sure, maybe 20 cents. I'm super excited that I got this. You can see up there that I painted the rope. I don't know why, but I like how I did that. So, I mean, that's up to you guys. And now I'm going to add a black border around the outside. Because it's double-sided, I figured black would be best, but that paint pen was not working. So I went through with a very thin paintbrush, and I just went through the entire thing, and I'm using my Waverly ink paint. I think this is so adorable. I love the idea that I can transform this just by flipping it around. So here I am just weeding out my words. I had printed this off of my Cameo, and I use Christmas Jelly Shake. That's the name of the font. I think it is so cute. And I'm just putting down some transfer tape, and you're gonna see, but this one was super adorable, very easy, and you wanna make sure that you rub it really good. And I'm using my Cricut tool, even though it's a Cameo machine. And here is my board. This is actually 3 coats of plaster. And I'm just gonna lay down my words with my transfer tape, give it a good rubbing just to make sure it adheres all the way down. And then I'm just gonna peel it up, and I am in love with this. Of course, you guys can do whatever you want for your home. Again, this is going into our booth at the flea market for the corner where I have some Christmas presents for people to purchase. So here is a couple of things I had left over from my video last week. If you guys saw, I just had a couple of these decals that I had left over, and I'm just filling this up. Super cute. These you can find right on the Silhouette store for Cameo, and I'm sure Cricut has the same kinds of things. I just looked up Christmas. And I think this is so sweet, and I just love it. I think it's so sweet, and you can see how easy this was. So now it is time to do the back side, guys. So I am sharing with my customers about my Chalk Couture, and I wanted to be able to show them a couple of my pieces, and I think it is super easy here that I can show them on a reverse sign. So that was just me fuzzing it. I'm defuzzing it. And if you have more questions about Chalk Couture, please let me know. But this is what you do when you paint a surface. You do a little bit of clear wax before you put your transfer down. So here is my transfer. It is mistletoe, and I'm going in with my bright white. And this is a little squeegee that we use just to put the paste down. Now these are special transfers and special pastes, and they are to eliminate bleed through, and they are also reusable. It is really, really cool, and I am just so happy that I found this product, and obviously I sell this product, so I am in love with it. And you guys can see I am just scraping away the excess paint, and then I'm peeling it up, and that's it, guys. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. So we're gonna keep going here. We're doing the same thing. We are just defuzzing it. You want to do it about 5 times if it's your first time with a new transfer. And this transfer was a little too high for me, and I didn't want to peel up any of my other paste up there. So I just cut a little bit off, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the same color. I'm just going through, and this is really foolproof, guys. This is so easy. It is so quick, and all you do is just smear on the paint. Like, that is it. You just rub it on and rub it off. But it is that simple, and I think that these pieces come out so beautiful, and it's just such a nice addition to have in our craft supplies. We have our cameos, our Cricuts, our heat presses. We have so many different items to use for crafting, and I think this is just so nice and so easy. So now I'm going to add a little bit of mistletoe on the edge, and I thought about doing like a 3D sign for this just to embellish it a little bit, but like I said, we're going to be swapping it around. So if anybody says, hey Devin, what does this chalk stuff look like, I can just turn over my Christmas corner sign and show them. And of course I do have a sign telling them that I'm doing Chalk Couture, so it is the perfect place to have a reversible sign. And we have not a lot of room in our booth because we have so much stuff in there. It's a flea market booth, and it's not the biggest, so we have to really utilize all the space we have. So I'm doing the same thing here. All I did was add the transfer from one side to the other side. Here is the Christmas corner. As you can see, we are in my booth, and I think this came out so adorable. Like, I just love it so much. I love the red and white. I think it looks super crisp, super clean, very classy. So here is my chalk sign, and it is so cute.
It will always be Christmas in my heart, but this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand.
This next one is super adorable and obviously very specific to my booth, but you could do this for whatever you're doing for a certain holiday. I have some Scrabble tiles to spell out the name of my booth, and I have some popsicle sticks here. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring out how long the Scrabble tiles are put together, and then we're just going to cut them. So you can cut them using scissors or whatever you want to use. I have my little shear cutters here, and you guys know that I had shoulder surgery as well as some myoclonus and neuropathy, so my hands are not the strongest. And so what I do is I hold it tight, and then I just bend up the popsicle stick, and it works perfect. So this is a box from Dollar Tree. Now this box is going to be the one I change out. So this treasure triangle, that's the name of our booth, I'm making this magnetized so that way I can change up the box that you saw for every holiday. I think it's a genius idea, if I don't say so myself. So here I am. I made sure that they fit, and I'm going through and I'm hot gluing the Scrabble tiles right to the popsicle stick. Now these Scrabble tiles, you could go through Scrabble games and pick them out, but I get them off of Amazon. I get a huge bag full of them, and I haven't even gone through the bag yet. There's so many in there. So again, this is the name of our booth, but this is where you guys could add Happy Easter, or the last name of your family, or maybe like best grandma or favorite grandkid, you know, something cute like that. So here's that Dollar Tree box and some fabric from Walmart, and I'm just wrapping it up like a present, and I'm hot gluing it wherever I think it needs a little hot glue. I am going to be filling this up, but I want it to be really cute on the outside just because it's going to be my booth. People are going to be seeing it, and I'm sure people are going to be touching it, so I wanted to make sure it was super secure. So I am hot gluing some magnets right to the back. You saw that there were 2 magnets on each side because one, that way they can be removed. You know what I mean? So I'm hot gluing them right to my pieces that have my Scrabble tiles. Obviously it's flipped upside down now, and then I'm gonna hot glue it right to the box. So here it is. This is the box that it is for Christmas, but you could change out the box, which is what I'm going to be doing every season. So I'm hot gluing it right to the box, but there's 2 magnets there, so it can just pull right off and go to the next holiday. So this is super cute, and I am in love with it. And of course you're going to see as we keep going, but this is something very specific to our booth. We sell Pokemon cards and sports cards and antiques and just pretty much the treasure triangle, crafts, collectibles, cards. It's a lot of stuff, guys. So I was embellishing that with some minis I got from Hobby Lobby, and these are some Pokemon that I printed off the internet. One of them is a regular Pokemon, one is a mirrored image of it, so I can make a double-sided Pokemon. So here I'm just cutting it and cutting all the little white off of it, and then I also did cut a little cardboard piece. So right here I am putting some Mod Podge onto the back side of my Pokemon, my Pikachu. And then I'm going to take that little cardboard piece and I'm going to put some Mod Podge on top of that. Now this is going to be in my little box and you're going to see, but this is where you could be doing your grandkids' favorite characters, or if you're doing a Easter sign, you could be doing a bunny here. This is totally up to you and what works for your holiday. So now we're going to do the other side. So I do again the Mod Podge on the cardboard, and then I do Mod Podge on the paper, and I'm just laying it down. How cute is that? It is so adorable. So I'm just going to very carefully smooth it out with my fingers, and then before it was dried, I peeled up just a little corner so I could stick a little stick in there, and this is just so I can stand it up in my box. Now, I am in love with this. Again, you could do whatever holiday you're doing, or if you're making a present, you could use whatever characters for the gift. And now I'm just going to go through a Mod Podge on the top. You do want to be careful because I printed this off my printer, and I did notice some of it was bleeding a little bit, so you definitely want to not use too much Mod Podge. There's a fine balance there. And here is a little bit of my yellow paint. I am just filling in where that cardboard is, so that way it kind of looks all the same, if you know what I mean. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the stick, and the stick's going to be inside the box, but just in case you see it. So I did put some floral foam in the box, and of course this is Christmas, so I am adding some pine to it. And this is just pine I had gotten from a couple picks that I had left over from previous projects, and I am just sticking it in, and I am hot gluing pieces that I feel need to be hot glued. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to go to Dollar Tree and stock up on these boxes, so that way for the rest of the seasons I will have the same boxes, because I think that Scrabble tile that I made fit perfect on there. So these are some sticks that I had from other projects that I've been working on, and I just had some extra stuff, so I was just cutting off sticks and leaves and anything that looked Christmassy that was small enough to fit in this box. I love the gold. I think it is super cute. These are little coins that go to the Pokemon game, so I just had a couple of those. I stuck those in. I also had some mini pine cones, and I'm just fitting everything where I can fit it. I had this little North Pole sign. This is from the Target dollar spot. And then I have my Pikachu that I stuck in there, and then I hot glued a mini Christmas tree behind him. And I'm just filling this up with some different things. I'm trying to see what else I can fit in here, but that was a little too big. So I do have some mini presents and some mini ornaments, and everything is going to get hot glued. And that is it, guys. This is so sweet. There is a dollar Target spot ornament on the side that is super cute. There it is, letters to Santa. I think this is so sweet because we do get a lot of kids in the flea market, and again, we sell Pokemon cards, so this is just so perfect. This first project is super simple and super quick. I love book stacks. These are 2 books from the Dollar Tree and some embellishments and some ribbon. So I took off all the book covers and realized that they had a super cute owl on it. I thought that was adorable. I can keep this out for winter and Christmas, so I am going to not paint the books. I'm going to keep them bare, and I'm going to add a ribbon to it. This is just a Dollar Tree ribbon. It is super sweet. I love the canvas. And all I'm doing is hot gluing it to the book stacks. Now you can change out the ribbon afterwards, so that way it has a more winter feel and not so much Christmas. So I am just cutting off the excess here, and I am hot gluing this down. I love wrapping my presents like this, so I love having book stacks like this. I just think it is super adorable. So now I'm going to work on the embellishments. These are a couple different picks I had left over from previous projects, some from Hobby Lobby and some from Dollar Tree. And I am just hot gluing them right to each other. And I think this is so sweet, and it is not too much. It is like perfect amount for Christmas. So it's not too flashy, but it's still super cute. And I'm hot gluing it right to the book. And then I felt it needed a little something, so I just have a little bit of twine here, and I'm just going to cross it over and make a little bow over my embellishments. It didn't need this, but I thought it was adorable, and I am just so happy that I did it. Let me know down in the comments if you love book stacks. How adorable is this? Oh my goodness, I just love it so much. I have it turned around the backwards way so you don't see the spine, only because I never painted it. But that's kind of the style now, having backwards books. So I think this is super cute. I threw it into a little thrifted sleigh that I found at the thrift store, which I did nothing to. I just washed it and put it on the table. Here is another super quick, super easy project. So I went to Dollar Tree and I got some foam dice. You could use some blocks, wooden blocks, foam dice, whatever you wanted. And I just gave it 3 coats of my Waverly Crimson. And 2 coats really wasn't enough. So with these black dots, you definitely want to do 3 coats. And then I did start doing this on a different color burlap, and then I decided I really didn't like it, so I have 2 different variations here. But right here, these are stick-on stencils, and I got these at Walmart quite a while ago, and they are super awesome because they're sticky. They're still sticky. I've used them for years now. So all I'm doing is laying it on top of a piece of burlap, and I'm just going to stencil in on the letters, and I'm still using that same color from Walmart. It's my Waverly paint. Everything I use is down in my Amazon store. So I just peeled it up, and then I cut around the edges so it would fit onto my block. And I had a couple different ideas here with thumbtacks, but I didn't end up using them. You see them there, but I don't use them. So I'm just cutting it up, making sure that they fit on top of my blocks. I have some adhesive spray here. I love this spray. I just sprayed it right onto the burlap. I didn't spray it on to the block because I didn't want anybody to see it around the outside, if that makes sense. So I just did it on to the burlap. And so you'll see here, I just spray it right on the burlap, and then I lay it down and I use my fingers to smooth it out. And that's it, guys. This was so simple, and you're gonna see it's super adorable. I spelled out the word Noel. I think it is so sweet for Christmas. I love how this came out. I just think it is so pretty. and it adds just that little delicate touch for Christmas. It was super simple too, so, and it literally cost me $1. I love this project. This is a perfect project for a centerpiece, or as I'm doing it, for my cube storage. So I have some Dollar Tree vases here. I got 3 of the same size, and then I picked up some candles from Walmart and I hot glued them into my jars. Not like it really matters because it moved around, but you'll see that. So here I have some greenery I'm trying to fit inside of the jars. At first I wrapped it in like a circle, like an O, but I didn't really like that. So now I'm cutting up my pine and I'm just throwing it in there so it's whimsical. And I really like that much better. So I decide to keep doing that. So now I take out that first trial run with my little O and I just keep cutting everything up for like about 3 inches long. And then I'm just throwing it down inside of my jar around the candle, and then I'm using my scissors just to push it down a little bit. I think this is such a quick, simple project and adds such a nice holiday feel. Again, you could do this for a tablescape or a centerpiece, and I think it would be just beautiful. So here I have some cranberries. These are real cranberries, and real cranberries, if you don't dry them out, are good for about a week. So this is up to you for your holiday if you want to use fresh cranberries or fake cranberries. I think that the color was so sweet that I had to use the real cranberries, but I will have to swap them out when it comes time for them to, depart in about a week. But how sweet is this? Oh my goodness, such a cute little added flair you can whip together right before company shows up for your holiday meal or just your celebrations. This is a super cute box that I started quite a while ago. If you guys have been with me, I did a live and I was practicing my Club Couture, and this was one of my first projects, so I'm going to show you what I did on my live.
All right, here we go. Thank goodness. You are about to see magic. See? How cute is that? Oh.
So I'm just using my antique wax on a baby wipe to get like a vintage feel on this box. And I wasn't really too happy, so I ended up switching to a brush, which is fine. And this is so sweet. I love it so much. If you haven't tried Club Couture yet, it is so much fun. And for somebody like me, I have arthritis and neuropathy and myoclonus. My hands cramp up. Club Couture is just so useful to add to my crafting tool belt. So here I am just painting the entire box now in my Waverly and Fern. I think this is such a pretty color. It can be used in the springtime as well as Christmas. So here I'm using my antique wax again, and I am just distressing it just a little bit on the outside of the box just to give it a little something something. I think this is so sweet. I am not super big on distressing, but when it's vintage, I just love that look. I think it is so sweet. And you can see I'm not doing a lot. I just put a little bit on my dry brush, and I'm going from the cap to my box, and I'm just going very lightly. So here I have a cotton ball, and I've unrolled it, and I'm just making faux snow. So I did have some sparkly snow, but I really just wanted like a field of snow. So I hot glue it down right to the bottom of my box. I do 2 layers of it side by side. This is an ornament from Target. It was $1. Super cute. So I decided to stick that in. This is just a little piece of a pick that I had left over, and I'm just going to hot glue it into place. I think this came out so adorable, and this goes very well with my vintage feel, and I am putting everything into my living room, which is an alpine ski lodge theme. So I think that these little pine cones are super sweet, and the berries, of course, to stay with my red theme. I think this came out so adorable, and I just love little mini things. I just think it is so sweet. Let me know what you think down in the comments. That reindeer feed bag just made the entire project. It is just so stinking cute.
Dance all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us.
This next project was inspired by my friend Mary from Mary's Kinda Crafty. And these are some wooden trees. I think they are super sweet, and I am not a power tool girl. I would love to be, but I'm not. So here I am just sanding down the edges, and I'm gonna show you. I did not cut these, my father-in-law did. So we are super blessed that my father-in-law owns a handyman company. He is a handyman. He does a lot of carpentry and has an amazing garage and workshop. So I went to his house and I asked him to make me some wooden trees, and that's exactly what he did. We brought Miko and we just made a wonderful morning of it. Of course, I was super thankful, and I am just loving these trees. So if you would like to get the measurements, I can ask him, but it is not one of my cuts. So here I'm just painting them different colors. I had my linen white, which is a chalk paint. I have that crimson I've been using this whole time, and my fern, which I still love so much. And we're gonna do something new here, guys. So I had seen my friend Jamie do this on What's Jamie Making. She put down some cling wrap. So I have a Cricut press now, which I got last week for an early Christmas present. So I put down the cling wrap first, then I put down my tissue paper. This is my parchment paper that I get from Amazon, and now my heat press is set at 330, and I'm gonna do it for 30 seconds. I do end up doing it 2 to 3 times to really get it down. So I'm just moving it very slightly back and forth. So I'm gonna do it again now on my other tree. So I'm doing my red one with red paper. So I put down that saran wrap, and then the tissue paper, and then the parchment paper. And this time I turned it up to 400. I still needed to do it 2 to 3 times. So the temperature really didn't matter. Again, I'm new to this, guys. So if you have any tips on how you would do this on wood, let me know down in the comments. This is another tissue paper I thought was so sweet. And now I'm trying a different parchment paper, like the cooking parchment paper that comes right from the roll. And that one was way worse. It like burnt, and it was, yeah, not fun. So I ended up switching back to the other parchment paper. That parchment paper, again, is in my Amazon store. And right now all I'm doing is sanding downwards against the tree and against the side. And then you can see it just peels off very nicely. I'm not going super hard, that way I don't peel any paint. That's the bottom of the tree, I didn't paint that. And I'm just going all around the edges, and you can see how easily it comes right off, and it gets the tissue and the saran wrap. And I think this was so sweet. I'm gonna keep doing this to all the trees. I was thinking of stenciling them, but after seeing them done with just this tissue paper, I thought it was so sweet. I was very surprised how well this came out, and now I am just going to do a layer of Mod Podge. So for time ways, I would have done the Mod Podge first and then did the tissue and then Mod Podge again. But for the way the tissue paper came out without ripping or crinkling, I would definitely use the Cricut heat press again. So there's pros and cons to everything, and it's just great to learn different techniques, try different things, and see which way you like best. So I just layered on my Mod Podge. You guys know I love my Mod Podge. And now I have this last one that I didn't put any tissue paper on. So I am distressing it just a little bit with my antique wax. Now I did get a little happy in the middle, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I just kept going. I don't know what I was trying to do. I was just trying to distress it. So I didn't like it. So I ended up going through with my plaster and dry brushing some plaster on it. And I don't know, I really didn't like any of that. So I like how it looks vintage and old and worn. So here I just took a Dollar Tree garland and I just wrapped it around. I thought that would be super sweet and it just came out adorable. I think it added that extra texture that I needed, and then I just hot glued on the back so that way it just stays still and doesn't poke off. But other than that, guys, that is it. How adorable is this? Let me know if you would have done more, if you would have done some kind of stencil or a different design on it. I just think these came out so stinking cute, and I love that you can see the edge where I painted it. I just think it is so sweet.
This year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand.
Now I had a different idea for this DIY, but it came out pretty adorable. So first I have these Dollar Tree bowls that I got in the food section, and they're just plastic bowls, and I just spray painted it with a brown spray paint. I'm having a brain fart, so I am going to put it down in the comments, guys. I did 2 coats on the outside and the inside, and I just think this is so sweet. It's Rust-Oleum. I love that brand. And then I have some Dollar Tree large ornaments here, and I'm going to stick it through the bowl. So I'm using my hot glue gun to melt a hole right in the center. It was a little too small, so I took my hot glue gun and I just put it down a little deeper, and then I hot glued the bottom of that ball and I just stuck it on there, and it worked great. So I did it again. So I am just using my hot glue gun to melt the plastic, and I just kept pushing down until it was big enough to fit this large ornament right down inside of it. And again, I just used a little bit of hot glue and I just stuck it right down into the hole. I had hoped to make 3 or 4 of these, and it didn't come out that way. So I'm going to show you guys 2 of them that I made. So I did add a little bit of hot glue to the bottom just to add a little bit more security. Now again, I had a different idea, but you guys know how happy accidents work. I think it came out adorable. So these are some smaller ornaments from Dollar Tree. I got gold ornaments, and I got some ones with sparkles and some without sparkles. And these I think are super sweet, although they do make a mess, and you guys know me and glitter, but for Christmas it is okay. So I popped off all the little tabs that you would hang your ornaments from, and that was just so I had more room in the center. And now I'm hot gluing them to each other, and I'm trying to make like a little ring of them. I thought I was going to use 6, but I only needed 5. And again, this is your preference, whatever you want. Change up your colors, change up what level you put them on. Then I just take some hot glue and I put it on the bottom of the ornament, and I just sit it right on top. And at this point I realized that you could see that. I thought it looked a little funny, so I added a larger ornament now for the middle to make the tip of it. And then I thought it still needed something, and my husband suggested some rope, and I think that is perfect because I'm going for this vintage theme, and I think this is so sweet. So all I did was hot glue the rope right to the bottom. So there's the rope, there are the bowls, and I just love how this stacked up. I think this is super sweet. I threw it as added decoration to the back of my cubes, which you're going to see. We're going to decorate these, and I'm going to show you how you can make cube storage adorable for the holidays. Now, of course, I have Miko, my little helper, with me, and I am just decorating my cubes. I'm starting with my vintage items I have laying around the house that I use for my decoration, and then I'm adding in my holiday decor. You could do it the opposite way. You could start with your holiday decor and then add in your vintage items. It's totally up to you. Of course, Miko is totally my big helper. I had gotten this adorable blanket at TJ Maxx the other day, and I am just adding some pillows that are super sweet that I got at Target, and I am so in love with how this came out.
Making our Christmas memories.
So this is a basket we picked up at the thrift store for $4.99. My husband is cutting it in half and cutting a little circle in it. That way we can now open it around the base of the tree, because this is quite a large tree. It is a fake tree, so it has a plastic metal stand, and we wanted to fit it around the base, and it fit perfect. So I am so happy. I think it is just super adorable. So this is a bench I have by the side of my tree, and I'm just cleaning it up, and I love putting cushions and pillows on this. This time I'm using a blanket. This is just a red buffalo check blanket with a Christmas blanket in the background and some holiday pillows I picked up from Target. So now I'm adding a little blanket here. I like to use painter's tarps for the bottom of my trees, but I decided to use a blanket this time. Of course, I'm getting Miko kisses because I'm on the floor. This ribbon is super durable. I love this ribbon. I think it's very sweet. It is a wired edge, so you are able to bend it and mold it to the size that you want. I am cutting this about 8 to 10 inches, and I am going to be tucking them into the Christmas tree to make it look like the ribbon is going in and out. But I did try those first couple smaller ribbons that I cut, and the 8 to 10 inches really wasn't big enough, so I ended up cutting about 15 inches, give or take, and this is long enough now to tuck into the branches, and you're gonna see. But I really love this ribbon. I got it at BJ's. You can get it at Costco. I believe Hobby Lobby has it, and this is just a nice durable ribbon, but it's also a very large spool of it, and it's not that expensive when you buy it in bulk like this. So you'd be surprised how much you get out of this. So I'm just looping it around, and now I'm going to cut the pieces in the middle just so I can get strips of it. It was just an easier way than cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. I just wrapped it around and then cut the ends. So these are super pretty. You can see my colors here. I have a lot of red and black. My living room is an alpine ski lodge. So I have been working on this for quite a while now. We have a lot of working parts in this room. So we have a corner where it is all vintage items, and then I have my Christmas tree area. And then on the other side, I have some more storage and other furniture I decorated. So today we're working on the tree, and I'm showing you how you can decorate your Christmas tree without going wild with the ornaments or doing a bunch of different balls and all different things that, I mean, I love ornaments. I think they're super cute. I have many ornaments for my children that they have made, but I also have multiple trees in my home. So this tree is my largest tree. I think it's very, very simple and classic, and so I wanted to keep it vintage without loading it with ornaments, if that makes sense. So I am just tucking in the ribbon anywhere I feel like the ribbon would go. So I tried to follow it around and then go from left to right and then right to left and then keep going like a ribbon would follow. I didn't put any on the back because nobody can see the back over there. So I guess maybe my neighbors can, but that's okay. So I think this is super sweet. You can do it however you wanted. You could take the ribbon and just put it all throughout the entire tree. I just thought this would be time saving and money saving. I think this is super sweet, and you can tell I have a bunch of different lights on here because I ran out of lights and I just used whatever lights I had in my house. So here are a bunch of Christmas presents, and I will do a designated video at some point before the season to show you the different bows and wrapping ways that we can wrap our presents to make them look pretty. These ones, I was not trying to make them super, super pretty because they are just decoration, so the back isn't going to be seen by anybody, and so I'm just wrapping it. And I'm using my craft paper and my Dollar Tree wrapping paper. I love using craft paper. It's very durable, and you can use a heat gun if you're going to add embellishments, and you don't have to worry about ripping the paper. So here the paper didn't fit, and I'm just doing a sideways kind of wrap. I should have cut more, and instead of wasting more paper, I just turned it sideways, which I can show you guys if you'd like on my full video of wrapping. There are just so many ways of wrapping presents. It's kind of crazy. So I think this is super pretty. I think wrapping presents to me is just as important as the actual gift. Like, I love making my gifts pretty. So I have more of that ribbon. I have the same ribbon I've been working on. I did pull out some Dollar Tree ribbon, but I ended up not using it. So I am using this really pretty buffalo check with gold trees on it. And this again was from BJ's, so it is a huge spool of it. And I'm just wrapping them different, like all of them differently. I'm using some of the ribbon from the tree, and then I just have some greenery and some gold embellishments from Dollar Tree and some ribbon. And I'm just adding it just so where I think it looks cute. No rhyme or reason, nothing's the same. I have this beautiful vintage guitar I picked up at the thrift store the other day. And right here I'm adding some flowers to it. I thought it was going to be cute, but the more I looked at it, I don't know. I just thought it looked kind of funny. So if you like the gold flowers coming out of the guitar, let me know. But I am going to change that. So the gold flowers I actually got from the thrift store as well for $4.99, and that guitar was $9.99. So I did not like the flowers, and I went to my bow maker and I just made a quick little bow. And here is the corner where I started my alpine ski lodge. I'm gonna go back to that in a second, but I want to share with you guys the full final reveal of my Christmas tree. I am in love with this. I just think this is so sweet. I cannot wait till there are real presents underneath, but I also don't want the dogs and the cat to ruin the real Christmas presents. So right now they are the faux ones. This is a cute little instrument I also got at the thrift store for $1.99. I think everything is so adorable, adding in vintage and adding in some fabric mixed with wood and metal. I just think it is such a great added bonus to any room, but especially for Christmas. And these little pillows I had gotten at Target. I think they are super sweet. That Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas was $5 at Target, and that vintage Santa, he was $2 from the thrift store. I love how my presents came out. I think they are so sweet. I wasn't sure about not using ornaments this year. I wasn't sure if it was going to be too plain, but I love it. I think it's perfect. I think this is just the sweetest tree for an alpine ski lodge. I feel this is very natural, and I just think it is just a wonderful, beautiful setup that I have done here with the plaid and the greens and the reds. I just think is also sweet. That basket underneath the tree is adorable. I have another basket for a different tree. I'm hoping it comes out just as good, so I will share that with you guys once I do it. Again, all these presents were wrapped. Well, the wrapping is just two different wraps. The Dollar Tree plaid and then the craft paper. The brown is the craft paper. And then the ribbon, I just changed it up. So you can see we used two different ribbons, and I also used that ribbon that is in the tree. You can see that here it is just kind of woven in and out of the tree to make it look like it is a full wrapping around, but it is not, as you saw. And I just think this is so sweet. Let me know down in the comments what you do for your wrapping. Do you just wrap it and give it, or do you like to make it pretty? This book stack I made last year when my YouTube channel was just a little baby, so I will post that link down in the description. But I am just so happy with how this came out, and I am just so excited for Christmas. So this was where we started when I first originally started my Alpine Ski Lodge theme. I have a full video, which I will link in my description if you want to watch how I did these DIYs. I made a lot of these DIYs. I also did a lot of thrift store finds, and I just love these so much. I love this candlestick holder. I think it is so sweet. And this little bell, it is a functional bell. And I just love how you can intermix vintage items with your DIYs and with your Dollar Tree crafts, and it is just amazing. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this mega video. If you were inspired and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as Freckled Mom. And if you're looking to buy some chalk supplies, I do have my link down in my description. Go through my link tree and you will see there's 2 different links for my chalk supplies to buy them and to also work with me. If you would like to be a designer and save 40%, please let me know. Reach out to me and I will give you all the information. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season and I will see you guys back very soon.